Hello! Lego Masters Foxcast Chat, Episode 6, Fast and the Furious, Sunshine Yeet. And I'm your host, Moto. I am coming to you live from the middle of Brick Rodeo. That is why there are no chairs, and I'm using a bed, and it's awkward. And you can hear laughing because I'm going to be joined by Dawn. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, we have more. Get on the bed. Get on the bed. Hi. Look at Zach and Wayne. Crawl on in. I got a chair over here if you guys do that. Oh, you're
hey, what's up?
Yeah, we're going to pull this up.
Yeah.
We're going to pull this up, and I have to use my cell phone for the comments. I will be trying to read them diligently as we talk about the Sunshine Yeet, which is, of course, the topic of the day. And we can also talk about Brick Rodeo, but first, oh my goodness, add to stream. Maria and Philip, but it's no Maria.
It's just
It's just a Philip.
We love you, Philip.
You
guys show me right
how
now.
it's looking. Great, we can hear you. Awesome. Hey, Full House. Hello, everyone. Spot the Magic Ninja Brickworm.
Yay.
Sister of yours
Yay,
is there.
Brickworm.
Willie Ball, Gloria Erickson. I am here for all the news of the day, she says. We will get your questions depending on whether that's news about the episode or the rodeo. We don't know. Hopefully, we're not like all pixelated because I'm using hotel Wi-Fi, which, as we know, is notoriously awesome.
It's actually not too bad. You guys are coming in nice and clear. It's a little dark though. Not gonna lie.
It turns out that they don't provide ring lights when you're in a hotel room. So they give you a brief description.
I'm expecting a spooky story from you guys.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
So in order to get any light at all, what I have done is open my window to get some side light in from the front. And we're all on a bed, and we're looking down on people on the pool, and I think that they think we're making a very interesting movie, which we are not. It's not that kind of movie.
Not that kind of movie.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out real quick that Wayne is wearing his famous red jacket, and I just love it.
Why don't you get up on the bed so they can see the pants and the shoes?
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, show us the shoes.
I'm not there because
I was trying to find a cowboy hat that had horns sticking out of it, but my aunt said no.
There wasn't enough time.
You guys are funny.
It's funny how Wayne had like a talk with like Jamie and Amy like yesterday. He was wearing this bright red suit and they didn't recognize him.
No, Jamie was like, who is this extremely well-dressed person here? He said like, hello, the whale.
Hello, the whale. That's probably the best introduction that we could ever ask for.
Right.
Sweet. So, of course, anybody can start kicking off questions about the episode in the comments. But first of all, happy birthday to Brian. He is not here. However, we have a Lego Master birthday. Mr. Brian, if you watch this, we're all wishing you a very happy birthday. Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
birthday, Brian.
he's celebrating this now. Yeah, I believe he's looking at some Lego artwork.
Yes.
Awesome. How was it to be there? Because you kind of got guys on the other side. We've got guys that were on it. So my first question always is, were there unspoken, rules that did not make airing? First question always. And I'm going to use my phone because I hit the wrong button.
I think the one thing was that they didn't really cover was if you noticed, everybody's vehicle was a different color.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
There was color that was drawn. I think you got drawn a number, and then that number. This is the number that you drew.
It was like
the
a lottery.
order, or the order that you got to pick the color that you selected.
Yeah, and I think there
Primary
were
color? Not like flourishes, but you had to have a primary base color that you're going to base.
Yeah, there was like a percentage maybe they were going for. I can't remember exactly.
I think there were a couple builders who sort of alluded to their color that they were building in, but yeah, I mean, it was 100% intentional that we each had a different color, but they didn't specifically address that.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
Mine, there was no yellow, so I built yellow at home.
Nice.
Yeah, there was no yellow. There was no orange. No, there was orange. There was orange.
Yeah, it was
obviously,
orange,
the
but
sunshine.
We're
So
gonna
while we're on the topic of
speak
the
orange,
orange, the orange, what was it? The sunshine machine? I think.
the sunshine wagon.
Sunshine wagon.
Sunshine wagon.
Every single person I have talked to who has watched the show was like, I laughed hysterically.
Yeah.
That's
Today I was driving around my tanks, right? And they're on these like bar tables, right? And it's like they're also waiting for me to drive off the table. And I was like, I'm not gonna pull a Jacob.
Caleb. Actually kind of funny because I knew it happened, but like when I saw it on television, that was like, oh, so that's what happened.
I saw it, right? And my brother just did not see it.
I didn't see it.
Just did not see it because you're so focused on
he didn't see it either.
I missed completely because I was trying to get unstuck from on like some bricks or something like that. So
tires.
I saw the whole thing and I laughed so hard. It was cartoonish, like when you see cartoon vehicles, they kind of like go off on one side and then go off on one side, and it's not like physics, right? But that was totally what it made me think of, the way it just kind of and then it was gone.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things we could say. It's a Wile E. Coyote. We could say it's the driving cat was in charge.
It's like the wacky races or something.
And it was like so hype. Big advantage, right? Big advantage. Coming late.
So much for
Like
that.
these guys, everybody else is pretty much half trashed by the time they open the gate.
I think what
and then yeet.
I think what happened was there was adjustment to the speeds, and I think it was faster than they were expecting it to be when he came out the gate.
Come on in.
And so it was just one of those things where like you're expecting one speed and it's faster, and he just couldn't. He didn't adjust fast enough. He only had like 5 seconds before it was gone.
You can come over on this seat. I'll take the bench with the back.
I'm just gonna take my shoes off.
That's cool.
Oh, it's Jen.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Jen's here.
I'm threatening a pillow fight if things get too out of control. We got like 4 pillows back there to start bashing each other in if the stuff starts getting too dull.
Oh boy.
Hey, before we dip into the episode, so this is like the first in-person convention, I think, for like since pandemic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
This
how's
is it.
going?
Yeah, this is the first open convention in the U.S. Yeah.
So that's awesome. Like I've been seeing pictures on Facebook, and there's some really cool stuff there. But I haven't really
that's
seen
incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. There's so many
There's
cool
been some
stuff over
hardcore
here.
pandemic building for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
yeah.
the giant rebel base. That's
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
oh my
You know-
word! I was like, here's a guy who needed something to do during the pandemic.
I actually got to see somebody really awesome. Like I have my own YouTube channel, right? And I follow other people's stuff, kind of like on YouTube. And a person I've been following for a long time is Rich Boy J.
Rich Boy Jay's here, and he has like he said it's a record-setting build, but they're still setting it up, so you haven't seen images
Oh my
of it yet.
gosh.
This thing is
It's a
a
giant-
monster.
It's a giant
From the first order.
first order base.
Oh, wait,
Star
wait,
Killer
wait.
base. Star Killer base. Star Killer
Star
base.
Killer base.
It's as tall as me.
Taller.
Wow.
Right? And see like all of the first order troopers, and then you see all the TIE fighters.
There's
and
a
then
trash compactor.
trash compactor. Then he even has
Oh
the
my
scene
God.
of the
Do you think it has its own gravity well? Because I was feeling sucked into it.
You're getting drawn into it. Right, and it's great because we're not.
It's gravity well. I think you mean that it tracks AFOLs in spades.
That's true. It's true.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of impressive builders here, and the floor's been pretty packed. We had a couple waves come through today, and more tomorrow. And right now they're doing a charity auction, which is going to be interesting when we see the results come out of that.
Nice.
There's a lot of people down there. I was just down there
Yeah.
to
It's
tell them what
crazy.
we were going to do.
I-
Yeah, there's a lot of people down there.
Cool.
I saw that the show like for public days sold out. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sold out yesterday.
Completely sold out.
Oh, yesterday it was sold out for today, and I think it's now sold out for tomorrow.
Tomorrow's gone too.
Crazy.
Mhm. It was already sold out Saturday before. I think
Yeah.
coming in, they said first day was already gone.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm sure if you're in Texas and you want us to get to the show, but the tickets are all gone.
That's so sad, but awesome.
I have another question for you.
They're at capacity.
It's for all of you. Have you guys been recognized yet?
Yeah.
So
Have we been recognized? Is that what you're saying?
Have we been
Oh my God.
recognized? Absolutely.
No, I'm getting like the weirdest comments here like all the time, right? Everyone's saying it's like you seem so much skinnier in person. I said, thank you. It's like I just don't know what to say.
It's like one of those sounds nice in your head, but not so great.
I mean,
Camera adds 20 pounds.
it's coming up more regularly than I thought. It's like, okay, once it made me laugh. Second, it's like this is hurting my feelings a little bit.
I was telling Wayne he was coming in with this outrageous outfit. I was like, Wayne, I don't think it's a good idea, but everybody's loving it.
This is how I usually dress, all right?
Dude, I was just planning on like for Brickford, Virginia. I was just planning on wearing like a t-shirt and jeans, and now I'm thinking I need to up my wardrobe. Like bring my.
Now you do.
You need to bring the barbecue dad shirts.
No.
So we
There's
had
plenty of Maya right here.
Yeah, I need flamingo shirts.
David Berard yesterday on via Zoom.
Yeah, I
And-
heard about that a little bit.
Me and Zach, me and Wayne come walking in, and he recognized me. He said, but he was like, I saw this nice dressed guy come in, and I didn't recognize you till you got up close to the camera. Hi, Wayne. Right? This loud red suit. I love it.
Somebody had asked the question up a little ways. How many masters can fit into one screen? I think right now the record is 6.
That depends on
that's right.
non-Lego Masters TV show screen because we're all on the screen together for photos and stuff.
Oh well,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously.
Set, yeah, the big set. But yeah, we're gonna
We
be in
had-
a telephone booth.
The
We had
record is
6 at our
6.
house.
You guys got to find 2 more.
Yeah.
We should have
Mark will be here later.
We should have one more getting here, right? He's
Yeah.
just that we're getting kind of
Probably
ground
getting
down.
burgers.
Yeah, we're getting burgers.
No, I saw him. He had like 2 boxes of pizza. And then, like, you know,
That's what I
then
was
he
gonna
started doing his slow eyes. I was like, it's like I can't tell everyone right there. It's like, you know, like everyone says, it's like, oh, okay, he doesn't make a talk about it. He's tall, handsome, and talented. What does he have to do?
Yeah, it's in his poor dummies.
Right.
Oh boy.
It's been a blast.
It's been a blast so far. Yeah.
When are we all gonna meet up in the flesh soon? We gotta have like the grand reunion sooner, right?
Yeah, we do.
We got like a fourth of the crew. We need to like get everyone back seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's
a
amazing.
little short of a third. We got 7. Right?
Brick World Chicago, I think, is the official goal to get everybody back.
Brickworld
So
Chicago is
I-
the rally point.
I
Is he-
owe an email to Mark at Brickworld yet with all of our contact information, but he's interested, so it'll be awesome. Just
It's
saying.
gonna be amazing.
So until then, we can be together at conventions and in person or online.
Yeah. And this question, this guy
Yep.
Oh,
is
Brick
going to
Fair,
be at
Virginia?
Brick Fair, Virginia.
Yes, so there will be some.
I'm gonna be there. Susan's gonna be there.
Susan's gonna be there. Mark and Steven.
Mark, Steven.
I think Tim.
Randall.
Is gonna be there. Randall will be there. I'm Mr. Rooming with
I'm trying to
Randall.
get Zach over there. I can't because I have an archery tournament, but I'm gonna try and get Zach over there.
Nice.
I'm
I'm
rolling.
not going.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, come on.
That is the best euphemism ever. I don't want to go.
I don't want
I'm
to go.
rolling sushi.
Now I made a specific point because there was like a Lego Master Q&A around here, right? I made specifically make sure you tell Zach, you know, you're not a sushi chef, you're a genius, so you know. Just
Well,
just you know.
we're working them over. We're trying.
Yeah, I told him no more. It's like, you know, you're good at that, but you're way better at this. So
I think, if I recall correctly, one of the very first things you told me, Wayne, when we very first met, was that Zach is the genius, and either you were never wrong or you're always right. I don't remember which.
Oh,
but
yeah. I'm never wrong.
there you go.
I have yet to be proven wrong.
Yeah, I'll never forget you saying that. That was like one of the first things when you were introducing yourselves.
I knew at that point that we were in for a treat. So.
Yes.
You know, it's like I'm just kind of laughing. I was telling Jen, right? But like, you know, for whatever odd reason, my trauma is taken as wisdom, and like, you know, my anxiety is taken as confidence. So I'm liking this so far.
Oh my lord.
I like
Okay,
it.
I'm
That's a
gonna
good
stop talking.
spin.
Stop talking.
Okay. I'll start talking. What do you want me to say? When you're in the middle of a build, you have a hard time talking about things.
To get someone into it, did you have any questions when you were watching the episode?
Did I?
Yeah. Anything that you noticed or something that you wanted like more insight on? Or just general comments of stuff that you noticed? Because you and I are like on the other side.
Right, we're on the outside looking in now. But
Like,
how heavy?
Huh?
How heavy were your vehicles?
The chassis.
The well, the chassis, and then once you were done, I mean, they all were going to be different because of the different number of
Yeah.
I
bricks.
think ours
They were
goes in, like,
solid.
5-6
Ours
months.
was crazy heavy.
Yeah.
Really, really heavy.
And I think it was detrimental in our case because we got hung up. When we got hung up on stuff, they got hung up because it was so heavy. And we built it like the brick is actually going out on like the sides and the front. So it's really solid.
Well, because one of the things they said was they didn't want like big chunks falling off of it because it still needed to be recognizable as your vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So if too much of the infrastructure was showing, then you would get disqualified. So I was like honed in on making it super, super strong, and I had found a way to put like a whole bunch of Technic pieces pinned together with plate so that it was, I mean, it didn't wiggle at all. I
But
literally
it made it really heavy.
I was literally at one point taking with the little craft hammer that they give us, and I was like wailing away on the side of it. And JD and Amy came over to do their check-in, and I was like, "Here, do you want to try?" And they were like,
no.
No."
Now, when they told, we're like talking about the challenge, I was anticipating we're building the chassis, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, all right, okay, we'll do it. Well, you know, I thought that we're going to be building the entire chassis, and they're not going to give us an RC chassis. And so the moment like they gave us the chassis, it's like, okay, not as.
Well, and if that had been the case, you guys would have won, and everybody else would have been like,
Right.
I don't want to.
A lot of people wondered why we didn't build our own like, motors and stuff.
odds on you guys.
I think if they had us use the motors, it probably would have had to add like another like 6 hours on the build minimum.
at least.
At least. And then the problem is like it's not going to go very fast, which I think is why they had the car chassis in the first place because they wanted that smashing to happen, right? I'll be honest, like because I don't use a lot of motors, I was super excited to actually have the platform. So
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about having the platform? Like, did you assume you're gonna have to build it? Like, we're freaking out, and then they handed over the chassis, or?
So the gears started working in my head where I was like, okay, how am I gonna, get the most bang for my buck out of these wheels, right? But no, it's I hadn't gotten very far. I did not get as far as he did before they announced that. I mean, before they gave us the RC chassis. But once I saw it, I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense because you're going to need a lot of power for this. We're going to build these pretty solid, and we need to have that crash and burn. And then I got really excited, and I was like, oh, you guys are going down.
Yeah. So you guys talked about how you bound your chassis together. How did you guys? What approach did you use to try to? So first of all, there was some Technic, right?
It was only Technic.
There was Technic. Was it Technic lift arms or Technic brick?
Yeah, they weren't bricks.
And they were
they
screwed
were
to the chassis, right?
Yeah.
Sideways.
Sideways,
So
correct.
the holes were up.
So there were no studs, right? And
Right.
some of the holes were going this way, some of the holes are going this way.
Yeah. So under the lip. Yeah.
They didn't all line up quite right. So like there were definitely some moments where I was kind of forcing the brick to come together in ways that it probably didn't really want to, but I was like, you're going to fit together.
See, I built.
Mark and Steven were
Yeah, I built one side of the.
super creative.
I built one side of the truck, one side of the Punisher, with like a brick locking kind of technique, right? And you got Technic pins like locking into it, and like I told myself, okay, I figured out how to join one side of it. But then when you move on to the other side, I had something built already, which should have fit, right? Because you're expecting the other side to be exactly the same size. And then you find out none of it lined up.
Yeah.
And so it's like now you have to take apart exactly whatever you built and then try and fix it all back together. And
So I assume that someone had like brick built a jig to make sure it was all in system and then screwed it in.
And in
I
theory,
feel
it was supposed to be in system, but I think just because of things shift when you screw them in,
Yeah.
because I mean it was like just
Yeah, because Lego's
No.
really precise, right? So if you even
I wanted
turn
to
the
say,
plate off,
like-
it starts to get wonky.
I wanted to say like one side is like built half a stud off. It's like half a
Yep.
pin.
That's about what it was.
There's like a jumper plate like in between it, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
they wanted like it was.
So that's the challenge. Quite a
So
bit.
I
How
saw
did you guys do it?
I saw that this was an issue pretty early on, and so I Technic built the
It's like
side
that. Well,
for
Yeah,
tension
like that.
for massive tension with the. Basically, I built tension between their Technic lift arm and the next Technic lift arm, and so I brick built all that. So there was huge tension and just really tight against the car, and then I built up plate so that plate came across, basically like a zipper in the middle with Technic plate that lined up like about
Yep.
like that, just enough for me to ram in a axle in between that. So my whole car was solid. It was not coming off that chassis. And the plan was for me to have those threshers
Yeah.
break off and expose my metal corners, and I was going to chip away at all you guys with my metal corners. And metal versus Lego, metal was going to win. I had
that's
totally
right,
planned on winning this.
But what got all of us was the tires. What got all of us was the tires. It's
Those
like
stupid
So can
tires.
you speak to that a little bit? Because we were getting a lot of questions. Well, not me, but the guys who did the challenge here. They were getting a lot of questions of like, how long were the cars actually on the field?
how were they? How long were they? On?
We were hearing minutes. It wasn't like a half hour.
It was over way too
Yeah.
fast.
5 minutes probably.
the unfortunate the tires that were on the course were really a pain because everybody just about got caught on them, and as a result, it really slowed things down a little bit.
They were meant to be like cute props,
Yeah, but
and they ended up being huge hazards.
because like the rubber would squish and then it would get underneath the car and stuck in the wheel. So
Oh,
things
right.
like that with us.
So a lot of people ended up going down to the tires, which was a bummer. So yeah,
Right.
it wasn't as exciting as it should have been, unfortunately. But
Well, until the sunshine wagon flew off the side.
and then the sunshine wagon flew up the side.
So I will say that so Caleb and Jacob are took the whole thing in stride super
Oh, yeah.
well,
Oh, yeah.
and they're taking it with grace and everything. And I think they realized that it really made that episode. So people will always remember that, and they'll always talk to them about that. And I think it'll be something fun, a good memory. And then they rebuilt it.
Right. So this is a little plug for Caleb and Jacob. Caleb has a YouTube channel called Cheesy Studios, and the two of them rebuilt. Well, maybe Caleb. They rebuilt the Sunshine Wagon, and then they did a recap / spoof parody video on it, and it's hilarious. You should go check it out.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're not subscribed to Cheesy Studios,
You're missing out.
not it's based in Wisconsin, but the content is truly cheesy in the best possible manner, and their sense of humor and editing is just spot on, hysterical.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, great guys.
Actually, I thought right there, I was speaking with Caleb about this. We wanted to make a moonshine wagon. So we wanted to have a pair of cheeks to match up with it. So wait for that. It'll come out sooner than later.
All right. I like Brickworm's question.
Yeah, let's highlight a couple
Yes.
of them because we do have some great questions, and we'll
Yeah,
start
I'm
off
having
with
a
this
hard
one.
time.
Yeah. So we were able to practice as much or as little as we wanted to. It was really on
Hey,
you.
hey!
Quick, put your hand
All right.
Is it Mark?
Look,
How's it
You
going?
guys are now tied for the record.
We're tied for
we're tied for the lead. Six in one room.
In one screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Mark should be down later. He should be here in a little bit. He's helping out with some lights coming up for the fantasy lights thing they're
We
doing.
might get 7.
We might get 7. We might take the
All right,
record.
everybody.
We might take the lead. And then we have to have a pillow fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I know there's no episode next week Saturday, but are we going to do this again Saturday?
Well, I was always going to follow an episode, but I can always host it if you guys want. It's up to you.
Okay, I had a quick question, but for my strategy right there, I was.
You know what? Because there's Brick Fair, Virginia.
Yeah.
I think I should host a stream.
So they can get all of
So we can cram all of the other guys in the
yeah.
room and do this again from another perspective. And you guys could do like a highlight tour
Yeah.
There you go.
and what's going on and keep people appraised of conventions because they're opening up and we're going to them. So why not? Yeah.
Yeah. Who was?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, like when the derby started right there. Who were you gunning after first?
You know what? Didn't you just go straight out?
I was like, I'm just gonna go out and play. So
Yeah.
and apparently everybody else did the same thing, and we all met in the middle.
Not
Like this.
you guys were out to
And
kill people.
One car went like this.
I was
and
gunning.
one car went like
I was
this.
gunning straight for. I was gunning
Yeah.
straight for Mark and Steven's
I
build.
was up here.
But then Jen got him first. I said dang it.
I have to say, ours was like tissue paper out there. I mean, I remember you watch the clip. I run straight for Philip, right? Like, ooh, there's a big blue target. I'll go right for him. And guess what? I hear this nasty crack, and I'm like,
Cars hit us from every side, and we were like, eh.
And it's funny because I was like, we knew it was pretty strong. I was like, wasn't sure what was going to happen, and I guess it stood up all right. But I remember watching the video of the Sunshine Wagon, and I didn't realize that they hit us.
Yeah,
before they went off.
Yeah.
And you see them hit us. They hit us hard because I think a bunch of a box fell off and my rest of my windshield broke and stuff. Bam! They're right off.
Oh man, I don't remember them hitting us either because it was so fast.
Oh man, I really got annoyed because it was me and Dave and Richard at the end, right? And that stupid tire.
Stupid tires.
The problem with our build right there, because the thing was built to have a lot of mass and whatnot. It doesn't accelerate quickly, but once you get up to speed, that thing will destroy
Momentum.
anything.
Yeah.
But it's like
Wario.
You made a sledgehammer is what you made.
I mean, it might have made me laugh a little bit because when Dave when I tried whoever was driving right there tried to hit the thing, I said this is gonna be so anticlimactic. Nothing was gonna break that thing.
You guys legitimately hit us hard.
So I had some things I was thinking of when I was just watching as an observer, and one of them was I was thinking about battle bots. And one of the strategy in battle bots is usually you either have a pusher or you have a flipper. And I know that you wouldn't want to mechanize the flipper because the weight of the cars is going to be too much. But did anybody consider making a cow?
I'll sit over here.
The cow catcher.
A cow catcher to intentionally get under the vehicle and flip it?
Yeah, we had a cow catcher, but you weren't allowed. That's my thresher kind of.
Yeah.
What was, but we couldn't build below a certain level.
So that's a rule I didn't know about.
Yes.
that's good.
Underneath people.
Now that you mention that, I
You
forgot.
intentionally couldn't get
Built
down
below
underneath
the level of
Correct.
the actual
Ah.
car.
Well, and they test all these things before they do them, and they warned us multiple times to be cautious about putting things too low because then it can get caught on stuff or it can fall off and you can get stuck on it.
Yeah.
They must have said that.
Which is funny because then there were tires out there to catch on,
Right.
so they didn't listen to their own rule, I guess. But I don't know. The challenge people is really hard, and a lot of times they just don't know what it's going to be like going in there because they may have tested the whole arena. They probably did it with just the chassis.
I would say,
They
I bet
probably
they
didn't
didn't
test
have the
it
tires in
with
there.
the weight on top.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. I was speaking with some other builders over here, and they actually were the ones who tested the challenge before the whole thing started. And because of them right there, they were actually convincing to get us an extra hour. So I said oh, okay. Clearly, they needed to do a little bit more testing.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
originally the field was supposed to be very rough and jagged, right? But they had to do some last minute changes to make it completely flat. So I said okay. That's good to know.
That's really interesting to hear. I like that.
Man,
behind the
You
scenes.
would only hear us if you were here. So I said, yes, my ability to hear random information at the proper time has become useful.
That's pretty useful, I'd say.
The thing
Well,
about
you're dressed like a car salesman, so they open
Yeah,
up
look
to
at
you.
this.
But I buy and trade souls.
I'm a little disappointed
Oh man.
You're laughing way too much.
I'm still laughing at myself from the memory chance. It's the feeling was that I have a friend who lets you drive like luxury cars, but I would have said the same thing about the pedicab I used to drive a lot back in the Philippines. To me, it just sounded more interesting. So I said like, come on, I'm not like that. It's just like, okay, come on, what would you want to talk about, right?
So here's another good detail, but I'm familiar with RC cars and kind of the steering thing on the side, because I think that's what you guys had, but someone was, whoops, that is not the right one. What was the remote control like? Was it acceleration and then you had to turn up?
Yeah, just like that. Okay. Not very intuitive. I mean, for some people, I'm sure it's great, but if you're not used to RC cars, it was a little bit awkward. Not gonna lie.
That's why they told us to practice before.
Yeah.
Because you have to translate forward into left, and was it reverse into right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, it was actually kind of fun.
Side to side, like
Something
this.
like
This turned you, and then the trigger made you go forward or backward.
You had to click it twice to go backward, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, funny.
It was weird.
Fun fact about our build right there, I already knew from the get-go that the polarity was stronger, so if you were actually going in reverse, the thing was faster. So it's like, we built the car with the intention of going with the faster setting, but that made it awkward because left is right, right is left, so it's like,
not really.
So I had planned on hitting people with the back of my car.
Yeah.
So you guys actually built to go into reverse and
So reverse
Right.
is forward.
Yeah.
No, it's like the
did
car.
you build the car backwards?
Yes.
Oh,
You
okay.
did?
Oh,
Yeah.
Backwards?
The car
I
was
never
built
knew
back-
that.
Yeah.
that is
Because
awesome.
if you were, I could tell there's maybe a 10% speed difference if you went forward.
So you went with rear wheel drive, not front wheel
Yes.
drive.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Really? That's so interesting.
What the
I
heck?
didn't know that.
That's why we covered up your tires.
Yeah, because the tires turn in the back, right? So it's like, oh, okay.
So nobody would know.
I mean, you just plan to ram people backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, do you get ahead and then bam? Oh, interesting.
That's how I drive.
Demolition Derby style.
Derby. Wow.
Hey, was anyone else struggling with their lift arms being out of place?
Yeah, we just talked
We
about that.
really suffered for that one.
Yeah.
I had to come back and fix a few.
I was surprised that your way of weaving it all together didn't work better because I know you had like tons of pins and stuff in there.
So what we had to do was,
Yeah.
so most of the Toxic Titan was put together in chunks, right? So the
Yeah.
sides were connected as best they could because nothing lined up. It was off by half a pin everywhere.
Right. That's what
It
Zach
was
was saying.
terrible.
That he was
Yeah, you
building
guys
it in
too.
parts.
Yeah, same story. But we had to connect ours with axles at every chunk, so we'd have a line of axles that were
Sounds oddly familiar.
bent. So, yeah, exactly. But they were off by half a
Yep,
stud. At
yeah.
least. So we could adjust where we wanted it, and it was decently strong, but it was breaking every possible rule.
Well, yeah,
it was annoying.
the great thing about lift arms, they do have a bit of play.
They have quite a bit of play,
I
yeah.
bent them quite a bit into shape.
So that was
Just
our
like when
only
you're
saving
framing a
grace.
house and you have a weird piece of lumber.
Yeah.
You sit there and you force it,
Cranking it.
and then you nail it in.
Precisely.
But if you did system brick, you lost that flex, right? You can't do that flexing of the lift
It
arm
wasn't
anymore.
enough. Yeah, we had to use axles.
Oh, dear God.
It was quite a struggle, but it did look nice in the end, even though it just fell apart. So.
Yeah, and I know we're talking about the challenges with the cars themselves, but I do want to give a shout out to the challenge team because what they're working with is really tough, and I appreciate all the efforts that they made to try to get this stuff lined up and everything. And they could have just thrown a car with everything kind of all wonky and been off really terrible, but we definitely appreciate them and the work that they did to make this happen.
Yeah, they
It
tried.
was a lot of fun.
Pretty good. Yeah.
It was fun, yeah.
I was thinking that if they ever redid this, they should have just had us sit on top of the tables and just race on the studio floor. That would have been more fun.
Well then, yeah, but anybody in a future challenge who researches this is just going to throw a bunch of tires. They're just going to dump. They're going to make a dump truck and just dump a pile of tires.
Wait a
and they're
minute.
going to call it a day.
TNT boxes.
Put tires inside the TNT.
Does anyone remember if they said specifically no power functions?
They did.
Yeah,
Because
Just the
not bad.
just the light bricks.
Yes.
So you guys could use light bricks, but you could not use power functions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang it! I was thinking we could have made
Because that would have introduced the robotics of the
Oh
flip
yeah, the
and stuff like
flipping
that,
and all
right?
that
So
stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
We only ever
yeah.
had red light bricks.
Yeah, that was it. It was kind of weird. They didn't have any orange ones or
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, that was annoying.
Yeah.
The one other thing I want to point out too is because I don't think this is readily understandable is that as we had no clue what the actual course looked like while we were building our vehicles, we didn't see the course until we were done and we were out there ready to race.
They literally built it.
Yeah, like we went back to the holding room and then they like built it and then we went out and
Mhm.
drove.
Like
so.
they had everything, painted or whatever. But I mean, they literally built the whole thing. It took them like what 3 or 4 hours, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
took a Lamborghini instead. That's all we saw was a Lamborghini until they moved it and replaced it with the arena.
Yeah.
That Lambo was so cool.
That was
Oh,
pretty awesome.
well, yeah,
No, they had
you
the
lucky
arena out
duck.
front.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It was in a different spot, but yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah,
No,
the Lambo stayed there the whole time.
Yeah. Mistake on that one. My bad.
Yeah, okay, no, I want to get everybody's like impression of like seeing the Lambo, the full size Lambo for the first time.
So cool.
Like I know they made the Bugatti, and it was like, wow.
So cool.
Because in our schedule, I don't even think they had released the full scale Technic Team's Lambo to the world yet.
No,
No,
it was
no.
way the schedule.
So they
it
brought
was,
it in
it was
for
like
you
a month
guys?
ago.
Yeah, it was only a few
Yeah.
weeks ago versus
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
several months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember somebody had,
really shot.
Ah, okay. I got
somebody had shared it in the Lego Masters chat. And
Get wacky guys.
somebody had
But I thought
shared it in the
the
Lego
Lamborghini,
Masters chat
though.
group, and there weren't a whole lot of people talking about it because we were like,
Yeah, we had to keep
Yeah,
those.
that's-
I got
but
a-
I will say I was a little disappointed that they did release it prior to the show because like it's such a cool thing that would have been
Yeah.
awesome to see on TV and everybody would have been like, whoa!
I
It was still
know.
really cool. Don't get me wrong.
Right, right.
And they had to ship that puppy from Czech Republic. I'm assuming they built it in the model shop over there. So, I mean, it's probably been a process like for a while to get that over here. So, you don't just like put on a boat or a plane or something.
we were
Maybe you do.
talking to one of the assistant directors after they had revealed it to us, and she was saying how they of course had it beforehand, and they had it I think just like in a shipping container or box or whatever, and they had to drive it across the lot to get it onto the set, and they were like, well, it looks like rain, but we have to get it over now so that it's there for the episode. So they very carefully drove it across the lot, and as soon as they pushed it inside the set, it started raining, like downpouring. And they just got it in, but then they had it hiding behind all these walls or something, so we couldn't see it while we were walking in and out. And everybody on set knew about it except for us.
Oh, I remember that.
Wow.
It's kind of like the hanging brick, right? Where
It's kind of like the hanging brick, only much cooler.
Yeah.
Tell your story, Stephen.
Oh, I had a really quick story. I was at work a few weeks ago. This was like episode 4 or 5, I think, right before we're doing this one. They released the Lamborghini rights to the world on their Facebook and everywhere. And my buddy walks up to me and is like, dude, look at this cool Lamborghini, man. I know you like Legos. Take a look at this. I'm like, wow, that's so
No!
Wouldn't you like to see that in person?
I didn't tell him that until after we saw the episode. I'm like, you remember that Lamborghini? He's like, wait a minute. I'm like, yeah, dude. I saw it months at a time, and he was
Doing
like,
a total
showing
poker
this.
face.
I was so proud of
Poker
myself.
face.
You know, it's so well.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Are those LEDs he got there? Wow, that's
It's
so
funny.
cool.
It's funny. It's unscripted, so you don't act at the set, but then you have to act afterwards.
Exactly. Oh, it's funny.
It's one of those things that you see like pictures and articles and YouTube videos, and you're like, that is so cool, I will never see one. But then we got to actually see it before most people even knew about it. It was just, and we were all standing there looking at it from, like 100 feet away, and we're like, oh, which parts are Lego and which parts are real? And it turned out that pretty much all of it, except for like
The chassis, the wheels, the steering wheel.
but even like the lights and the brakes and everything was just Technic. It was,
The seats inside.
I
yeah.
do think the steering wheel was Lego, by the way, but the
Was
badge
it really? Oh my
I
god! I don't
believe it
remember.
was.
The badge was
well,
not.
and
Numbers
they
are
used those Technic plates that I think they used in the Lambo.
From the actual set.
Anyway,
Yeah,
but they were like
Cyan.
Cyan.
they were like gradient color, so they had been, I don't know,
Painted,
specially painted
yeah.
or something.
And then
No,
everything's glossed.
They
So
showed that
glossed all the
they custom sprayed it with the
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it was high glosses, so cool.
That was really nice.
Dang. Well, here's another follow-up, kind of along the same lines. I don't know if this makes a difference, but were there any spacing issues on the car base, like studs not lining up right from front?
Yeah, well, so that was kind of how we did ours, because I had built, before we realized it didn't line up quite right, we had built up the sides and the front using Technic Technic bricks. And when we went to go join the two sides, we were like, oh no, it's off just a little bit.
But we forced them
But
together.
there was enough.
We channeled our best, Wayne and Zach, and bent the brick as best we could.
I mean, I was a little worried that it was just going to spring because
Us too.
in there and I used plates because it's, a tighter connection. But yeah, I was a little worried it was going to hit and go boing. It didn't though.
Amazing. And man, yeah, you guys have answered a lot of questions. It was kind of wild how when I'm viewing, I probably come up with all the same things that you guys do, and then you start to reveal all the hidden secrets, and I begin to realize, because I was like, man, there's no flipping cars, there's no cars for flippers. Oh, you can't use power functions, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Can't be Lewis or
And then the lighting up. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say the same thing. They're like, I'm really surprised people didn't have, functions that would do this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, well, we couldn't. Which is
Big
fine.
old snack
It was only 6 hours, so
And let's be honest, I don't think we would have had time. Maybe these guys.
I know. I was not mad when they took the power functions off the floor.
I was too upset.
Yeah, and even
We're not even trying to build our own chassis.
trying to hit another car, it's not going to do much damage because you're putting Lego against Lego, and anything that's thin with Lego, it's not like you can get steel rod to hit them or something like that, right? So if you were to hit them with something, it's not going to do anything. Like a spring-loaded something like that. Your best bet,
Caleb and Jake
that is
would
around
battery packs and just start using them as bludgeon
Yes,
tools.
man.
That's
Yes,
the type of thing they would have done. It's like, batteries are heavy.
Battery boxes, they would use those as weights.
I actually asked about the battery boxes because I knew they were heavy to include in my car, and I was told no because it's part of the power functions. We were not allowed to use that.
I was gaming.
But I didn't want more weight anyway, though.
And then you rip the batteries out, you just pack a bed of a bunch of
Dude.
A cells just in the center of the thing.
More weight was definitely not better.
Do you guys remember back in the
Yeah.
day when they had the Lego boats chassis for like police boats or fire boats or whatever, and in the back they had the weight to keep it.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
light.
they're heavy.
Yeah, you can put some of those in the front of your car, or in the case of Wayne and Zach, in the back of your car, and just ram them with it.
No, but you're
It's a
right.
hammer.
The more mass you put into it, it's a momentum thing. And then you guys were actually striving for that, so you had a slow uptick.
Well, that thing was maneuverable. That thing could drift, right? And I was just thinking, okay, my idea was just to circle around the moment I see something and But field was a little too small. I was hoping it would be just a little bit bigger, but it was fun.
Absolutely.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's a question about the RC bases being rechargeable. If I remember correctly, they were rechargeable and they did charge them all up. So we were ready to rock by the time we started. So everything was equal.
Yeah,
The
everything
controllers, they even put new batteries in the controllers. It was super fair. Again, props to the challenge team on that to make things as fair as possible.
Everything was fresh going in.
You guys want to move around?
Can I use it?
Please take the pillows.
Pillow fight.
More comfortably?
There's more pillows over here. We got 4 of them.
Is it heavy?
Oh yeah.
Chair.
I can't move the chair because it's holding
Oh,
the
it's
light.
holding the light.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Want any others?
This is perfect.
Rearrange.
Yeah,
Sorry, we're doing a reset here.
Yeah.
Right.
Go split it properly.
Intermission, right?
Other razors.
We need to go get hard drinks and popcorn for the intermission.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
A little bit to the left.
A little bit to the left. I gotta
Yeah.
move it.
Just a half a step.
Have a step
step,
to your
half
right
step.
now.
To the right. To the right. To the right.
So-
To the right.
Philip, on the second step. Oh wait, no, you're
Philip,
too
get a
tall.
little shorter,
Get down.
please. Philip, get a little shorter, please. Thank you.
Can you take 2 steps back, Philip, so you appear human?
Speaking of riser positions, when we were standing on the risers for the RC part, I was standing next to Jacob, and Jacob was right on the edge. And they were like, Jacob, move over. Jacob, move over. And he's like, I can't.
There's
There's
a
literally-
over.
I think he had half of a foot standing on the riser anymore at that point. He's like, I can't go any further.
You have the normal flamingo, like an actual flamingo with his foot up, There you go.
One leg up.
Yeah, at one point they pulled me pretty hard, and I was almost on the edge about to go. I think you grabbed me one time.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't fall.
Yeah.
So to go right at the topic, because we've been talking about it before, but possibly the most funniest Lego Master clip in all of the Lego Master
Most
clips
hilarious
ever
ever.
is the Sunshine Yeet. So for
Oh, without a doubt.
All right, so Caleb and Jacob need to have bricks made.
hysterical as I did. Yeah, yeet, 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 right off the head.
And poor Caleb had to endure many puns and jokes. I remember there were some jokes that you were telling while we were filming the next episode about driving and
Mark said something that
remember that?
Oh yeah, I felt bad.
But
So that you guys know, like we know Caleb like before Lego Masters, so there's like a pre-existing relationship there, and we always kind of joking as it is. So yeah,
it was really funny.
I can't remember what it was though, otherwise I'd repeat it.
Everyone I've talked to, they're laughing so hard they're falling out of their chairs.
Yeah, that was epic.
I thought it was funny, and then they cut to Natalie and Michelle. Like,
Oh, that was hilarious.
Losing it.
They could not hold it.
That made it even better.
I actually remember her talking about that after the fact. She was
I
like,
did.
"You guys, when I was in the interview, me and the producer were laughing so hard we almost wet our pants."
And then Jacob's reaction, he just looks at him like,
What did you just do?
I almost wonder if we're gonna find out later that this was a whole ruse by Caleb, because that's just the kind of like wit that he has. And
don't think it was. I don't think it was. He was actually really upset.
Yeah, because I mean the risk of being about to of course. So, but man, that thing yeeted right into the stratosphere.
Speaking of Jacob, he had so many lines this episode.
Yes,
it was like, "There's Jacob."
Great to see
all
him.
the wonderful things he has to say.
He definitely came out of the shell.
What time it comes out?
I know. I didn't know he spoke.
That's true.
If you're seeing Penn and Teller, he's definitely the teller of the group.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe because they were our van buddies, I wasn't surprised. I mean, I was always hearing him talk, so it wasn't that big a deal for me. But it was just, you guys are funny.
I think they have more of this master blaster relationship. Like
Oh my
one's
gosh.
the strong, super uber silent dude, and the other one's like the guy who speaks for him and controls him around. Always guiding him.
Dude,
That was awesome. Awesome. I don't think we have any more comments.
There are some more questions out there.
Oh.
One question about
That's an
We
easy
have
one.
not.
No.
Oh,
I want to.
actually, Zach. So he has one of his apprentices here who helped out with him at the show, and he.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, talk about that. That's a good one. Let me remove the thing
yeah.
here.
I have my brother calls him an apprentice. Yeah, apprentice. Apprentice kid who's been with me for a very long time since I had like a workshop, and his mom and his dad drove all the way from California to here, Texas, Houston, Texas, to help me out with the display. And so now this kid, he loves Technic.
This kid is bright. I've been watching this kid. He's smart.
Luciano loves Technic. And so I'm looking around, I'm kind of like scoping out what is something nice this kid is going to like. And then I see the cyan. I was like,
Oh.
I had to buy him one.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so I ended
That is
up buying him a
amazing.
cyan.
Dude.
Yeah, he hasn't seen this.
Nice. Yep, that's it. It's a
You know,
it's a
Luciano.
crazy set.
No, it's supposed to be a surprise.
Was he watching the stream?
Wait. In the chat, if you're there, please say you know that's coming. But I don't think he watches this stuff.
Hopefully not.
Okay, special shout out to all the Lego Masters here. Luciano loved meeting all of you guys in the flesh.
Yeah, he really liked that.
You guys really made
That
these
was
days. So
good.
thank you for taking care of our disciple.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
He's like, if Zach is the Sith Lord, that's his apprentice,
That was literally the first place my mind went when you said
We
he
have
was
one apprentice.
a young apprentice.
I like how he immediately like lumped you in with the Sith instead of the Jedi. So
Yeah.
that's really love right there.
That was the joke I was making earlier. I was saying, "Oh, he's a Sith Lord." He's like, "No, he's not." I said, "Sith Lords only have one apprentice."
I'm not an apprentice. I'm the clone army.
No, guess who Count Dooku is? Anything can rise up and
No.
up. It's like, that's it.
I am the literal embodiment of Order 66.
Oh, horrible. more.
Whoops, sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Zach, did you say order 66 or order 56?
I don't want to say that. Oh man, today was just a lot of fun. You get to work.
Oh goodness, I didn't even realize we actually have Richard Board from Sue's Welcome. Yeah, check that out. Hi, Richard. I'm sorry it took me a while to pick that up. So, you don't know this, but logistics is a bit of a problem right now. I'm used to like the large display, and now we're all like trying to like read little teeny words on a thing on the side.
Oh.
You know what? Actually, a lot of people here today were asking about why is it that there's no Lego Season 1 cast here?
Really?
Yeah.
We've been
It's like, why is it that Lego Season 1 you guys aren't here?
We want to hang out with those guys too. Come on.
I think they'll get.
I do know that they're going to be selling at Brick Fair, Virginia, though. So you guys all need to go to Brick Fair, Virginia.
And
Now.
I've been telling
And
them
Tyler,
they're coming.
I know at least they're going to be there.
Corey as well.
Corey,
has announced
yeah.
it.
Mel is going to be there. I know that for a fact. I think
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
Mel.
I think Jermaine's gonna be there.
Yeah.
I heard that.
You might get Jermaine
Yeah,
because
that's
he's
what
in
he
the
said.
areas. I don't think I've confirmed
Maybe.
that, but he might make it.
Zach,
It's gonna be
you should
fun.
go.
Yeah.
Huh?
You should go. I'm trying to send Zach over. I have an archery tournament, so I can't go, but I'm trying to get this guy to go.
It's
Oh.
He
only
was
a
trying to get me to go for Wednesday and Thursday
Yeah.
because I had to be home on Friday to pick up our kids from camp. But yeah, that did not work. To nobody's surprise.
Plane tickets
unfortunately.
are very expensive right now. So.
Maria's gonna have a house to herself for a couple of days. That's even better.
No,
Yeah.
Maria's gonna have.
This has never happened. Since we've had kids, she has never been in the house like by herself for this many days in a row. So, and not only is she gonna be by herself, but she's gonna go and have coffee with Mark and Steven's mom. I don't know if you knew that, Steven.
Nice.
What
John,
day? I'll be home.
Are you going to be here next Saturday?
Saturday? Yes.
You're invited too.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome. We were talking about
Official invitation.
Yeah. Mom was mentioning that too. Make sure
Okay.
God knows.
Yeah,
and
make sure you
that's
send me a
fine.
message where we're gonna be.
I'm a little jealous that I'm not going to be here to meet your mom, Steven. Just saying.
Yeah.
And we get to meet your aunt. So I
Yeah,
think she's
your
pretty
aunt.
cool and she loves Lego Masters.
Check it out.
Awesome.
Check it out, guys.
Oh, and your mom's there.
I'll come tonight.
Oh, yeah,
in Atlanta. So there is going to be a time that we will be like able to, as a family, meet the whole Erickson clan
Yes.
down at.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in
They're in Atlanta.
they're
Yeah.
That's their sister
Yeah.
today,
You guys-
and her husband.
Yeah, all of you met Julia. She's not well known to the Lego community, but they're amazing.
Was that yesterday we had lunch?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun.
Brick room is accurate. I just did the 3-finger check. We got like 15 minutes of sunlight before it's all going to go dark.
Go
in
to the
here.
dark side.
Yeah.
There's no
There's no overhead lights, and they're all
Just
behind us, so
the
it's just going to be a bunch of random dark
Right.
figures
Yeah,
by the time this thing
silhouettes.
gets to the end.
You guys are further south with sunset earlier.
Yeah, we are sinking to the dark side. I'm looking at the
Let's start waving red
We're in an
lightsabers.
exhaustion spiral is what it's at this point.
They would start be like the Knights of Ren and all that.
Oh yeah.
We're just so
Okay,
far.
fine.
Prop all of your cell phones up.
Yeah.
There you go. See?
Actually, like, let me get mine.
I like
So
that.
leave this up underneath the camera right
Okay,
there.
everyone starts singing something.
Hey.
I- right?
Yeah.
Did you guys all bring stuff to smoke?
Okay. Play it.
I feel like I need to make a request for free thing. Can I?
No time for losers. We are the champions of the world.
You ready?
Yeah, I gotta do it.
We
are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions.
still too much light here. You gotta turn off the hallway light
Do
over
the
there.
cast of the off-key singers of season 2.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was gorgeous.
Coming to a station soon. I messed that up.
We should apply to the Masked Singer or something else.
Did you guys see the new show that Fox is doing?
Like a mousetrap.
Domino?
No, it's
Doctor
it's like video but on TV because they're
Yeah,
animating.
they did the Avatar. They're doing the Avatar.
Yeah, the
people. They're doing
Avatar.
Masked-
Don't they know that video failed?
It's
Like,
like PR, isn't it?
By the way, I just got the most sus look from this person down on the promenade.
The pool is right down there. The pool is right down there.
Yeah, I know.
I
Context.
love that. Like, our vocabulary.
Oh, it's right there.
When I was coming down the hallway, I could hear Moto 5 doors down.
I think her name.
You know, we
Because our door is cracked open so that we can come in and
We-
out.
we-
We're gonna be like, what in the world is going on over there?
we knocked on the wrong door, and we like, oh my gosh! But then we heard Moto like, sorry, his last year. It's like, okay, now we know where he is.
Hone in on Moto.
I'm so sorry, neighbors. We'll find later on. I'm sorry.
We'll get you some cards.
Yeah. Hey guys, we got me and Zach got to bow out right there. Like there's someone we got to meet up with, but it's been so fun, and hopefully we all get to meet up again in the flesh soon. Okay.
Yep.
Looks like we'll have to break the record next time.
We tried Here's what we'll do.
Yeah, I'm just delaying. I have to go to work tonight to do maintenance at my job. Like I work in IT, and like you do stuff after 10. So this is kind of like the keep me distracted before I have to go in. So thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, this is
This is
fun.
fun. Thanks, Phil.
You guys go, but what I want you to do is, for the guys that go to Virginia, try to pull season 1 into your room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Try to get them
Yeah.
back.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll have to do it in like a
Okay,
conference.
so Moto,
Yeah.
set it up for next Saturday. We're gonna see what we can do about getting a bunch of people from both season 1 and make that happen.
That'd be crazy.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
And let's contact everyone like on the West Coast. Like make sure you come to this one. We're gonna have a lot of people.
Right?
I don't want to sound into
I
season
think-
1, but I'm
I
gonna
think
make.
I could probably pull some virtuals in as surprises too.
Wait about to talk back on season 1.
About time.
Yeah, I was gonna make some stickers where 2 is greater than 1, but
Oh.
that's not implying anything.
Wasn't it first
Richard, if you're still on here, we love you guys. Don't listen to this.
All right.
We're gonna get kicked out by maintenance or something.
I'm not. I'm
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys for having us.
See you guys tomorrow.
Come on. Yeah, let's throw the pillows in the back here. I need my shoes actually. Wait, is this your bag?
Okay, so to answer this question, did you do anything special at the rodeo? Yeah, that's my badge.
That's yours.
Mark designed these collector
Oh, yeah.
cards for us.
I don't have any on me.
And so these are
jelly
only
beans.
available right here at Rick's Rodeo, and they've got like little facts
Oh,
on the
yeah.
back.
Our handles, yeah.
And each of us
I got
has one.
Also,
So-
I'm not
Unfortunately,
gonna
they-
show my
Oh,
stubby one.
jelly dude.
Okay,
I'm
so
looking
somebody,
So much
Mark or
See you guys.
Steven, can you make sure that you get a copy of everybody's when you're there for like bringing them to Brick Fair, Virginia?
Yeah. Oh snap! I need to do
Ooh,
that.
that's a good
Oh,
idea.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I have your 1001 card, and I am bringing it. Like that's yours.
You
So
remember
yeah, that was a stream a while ago, and I said I signed 1,000
Oh
cards.
yes!
Yes. Phil said, "Can I have 1,001?" So I grabbed
You
the
signed
card,
right
grabbed the
there.
pen, and signed
Yes.
it right there,
Yes,
and
you
like
did.
it's coming. It'll be there. The actual.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it'll be great. But yeah, I'll see what I can do.
I'll leave this up and we can go around. But yeah,
Special.
did you, so we'll
yeah.
go from right to left here. How about you? Did you do anything special?
Well, the first panel ever I did, that was really fun. We had,
Yeah, it was.
it was about half full, and we just answered a bunch of really nice questions from the crowd and stuff like that. That was really cool. Aside from that, it's been like conventions that I'm used to. I've been to I've been to quite a few conventions. So a lot of it is like, okay, I know the rhythm of this, but there's a lot of new stuff because of Lego Masters, like the panels and
That's
the
crazy.
management taking us out to dinner. Never had that before.
Yeah, that
That was really cool.
That was nice.
But
Yeah.
other than that, it's a convention, but it's a really good one.
Did you do anything special?
So one thing that's been completely different is a lot of times standing next to my Lego, people would recognize my Lego first and walk up and
Mhm.
be amazed at
Yeah,
that. And now they're
yeah.
walking up to me and then noticing the Lego.
noticed
Oh, this
that.
is kind of cool. And so it's like, it's reversed. And so it's kind of interesting and fun and really awesome. And the little kids that are coming up and asking me,
Yeah.
like, I've signed Lego boxes, I've signed Lego builds that they've brought, and this has been so much fun.
I never thought I would sign a set. I'm like, I'm devaluing this right now. No, you're not. You're making it precious. I'm
Yes.
I'm not crying. You're crying. No, it does have probably will maybe one day add value if you start signing sets. Trust me. I'll grab sets, man.
Well, this is my first rodeo.
This is your first
This is my
rodeo.
first.
Yeah.
So everything was special. Everything's new.
We're
Everything's
getting the
special.
red
and it's,
carpet
so,
treatment.
it's awesome. It's like,
Can you
I've never
focus on
so much
something
fun.
specifically that is going to be
I
memorable?
love the little kids coming up and
Yes.
just staring at you because they know who you are, but they're so shy that they can't.
With
Yeah.
moms and dads going, go, ask them, ask them, ask them.
Exactly, yeah. And it's just so
No,
adorable, and you kind of try and draw them in, you get down to their level so they
Ask
can,
some questions.
because you're not towering over them, you get down to their level and talk
Yeah.
to them, and you need to really kneel when you do that, Philip. Really kneel.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be terrified.
Yeah, that was.
You should just pick him up and bring him to his level.
No, I've got knee
No,
pads.
that's really scary.
Yeah, freak them out.
Right. So I
I
think
know. They're gonna be like runaway screaming. They're gonna be like, "Who is this giant guy?"
It's a giant. You didn't look that
So
tall.
I have a story about. So at work, we have a pretty big office. There's like maybe 600 of us in there, and like after the show had started, a lady had brought her son in to kind of say hi, and she's like, "Hey, do you mind if he says hi? He really loves the show." I'm like, "Absolutely, this is fantastic." So he comes over and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's asking questions, and I have a stuffed dog at my desk because it's a mascot for one of our vendors, and he immediately saw the stuffed dog, and I was
It's
like,
huge. It's like a big stuff.
and I was like chopped liver at that point. He was just into the stuffed dog. I'm like, I understand. I know stuffed dog.
Yeah, you know where you rate.
I was handing this kid a card. I had signed it for him, and I was like, "Yeah." And I was talking to him about something, and I said, "Oh, all of us have these cards, so Zach and Wayne are right there. You can go talk to them." And he looked at them, and he was like, "I've seen them." And gone. Like he had squirreled. He didn't hear anything else I said after that. And it was just like I was laughing. It was hilarious. It's like
Yeah.
Zach and
No,
Wayne.
just signing these cards. That's not what I do.
It is now.
It's
You're used to it.
so out of my term. It's
right?
like, oh my gosh, I never considered myself famous about anything. Maybe infamous, but not famous. And it's just like, this is just so weird.
So we did this game yesterday where the people that signed up for the game didn't know this was going to happen. And so once they got there, they were asked to draw names, and they thought they were just drawing names to see who they were going to be paired up with in the room. They ended up drawing names of a Lego master that was there that that was going to get to play with them. And so 6 of us, there was Mark was walking around the room because he was the odd man out. So he was like judging people as encouraging people walking around.
Yeah, he was acting the judge. It was quite funny.
Yeah, he was
All of us
Amy.
had this Lego, this together, and we're building with somebody, and it was just like an amazing experience for these guys. They were having so much fun. It was
That was
really, really
great.
great.
And I
And
don't know
then
if
we
you
got
guys.
the pace car on the first one.
Oh yeah, on the first bill, they did it
On the
earlier.
first one, it was all the teams, and then the Lego Masters were judges. But Don and I got to do the pace car together.
Yeah,
it was
so
fun.
we built together. I never.
You guys would have loved this. Jen, you weren't here yet. Were you? Were you at the home that was going
No,
on?
you were
No.
Okay, yeah, you were still
I got
traveling.
here Thursday night.
But yeah, like Moto said, you guys were building in a competition that was Lego Masters themed, but me, Mark, Zach, and Wayne, and I think that was it. We were the judges.
Yeah.
All right. We were the judges. And we were going around like, oh my goodness, we were like, this is awesome. We finally get to do this. And they were like, I did you do this for like 10 hours. I'm worn out after 30 minutes, man. And I'm like,
Don and I were like 15. Fine, just like
they killed it.
So
So good. But
so done by that.
we didn't want to show any sort of bias.
No,
Like,
we
more-
weren't competing.
no more.
We were just kind of. We were
the pace car.
You guys were the best ones. I was like, yes.
the pace car.
But you know what? There was actually a lot of
Story.
It was fun.
They were fun.
Did
Sorry,
you
what
ask
was
if
that,
it had a story? Did you ask if
Did it have a
was
story? Yes, it had to have a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a story.
Yes,
Yes,
technical ability. Yes, it was all.
Story, color, and
ability? Did you
Yeah.
ask those questions? Because if you didn't, then
Did.
you're not a real brick master.
Yes, and we actually did apply that, and like we want to see a nice part usage. One kid made like a snake with like tires and stuff. It was really clever.
No,
So some
cool.
people did really well. But it was very funny to make other people suffer, you know. I was like, pressure's on, man.
The one thing, to get back to special, the one thing that I did, and because I won't be at Virginia, I need someone else to take it up, is like about 3 minutes before the doors open, I went through the doors and I walked down the line.
Oh, you were in the crowd.
So I walked the crowd and I was like, hey,
I was actually planning
and people were like,
Yeah.
what just happened?
And he was wearing a cool suit too, and looking really sharp.
I have my episode one official, everything
Attire, yeah.
attire on, but I went down the.
ponytail around.
What was that?
Were you flinging your ponytail around?
No, I didn't do the ponytail swish because I would slap some kid and then it's lawsuits and things. But
Disappointed I am that the ponytail swish did not make the cut because
Yeah.
that was like the most epic thing.
Okay, so you need to explain that though.
Okay, so they had us like the first Saturday they were there. They had us
it was highlight reel.
our mocks that we brought, and they did this whole videotaping, recording of it, whatever.
Where we were
And
like
they
throwing
used little bits and
cameras
pieces.
and stuff.
Yeah, they used little bits and pieces for some of the B-roll, but while they were doing the taping, they actually had a big, huge monitor where you could watch what they were doing. And so they had finished Moto and Paris, and they were kind of playing back some of it in slow motion. And he did this, like,
So I can tell you how they shot that. Because I was doing some building on the table, and I had to go from transition left right, so I had to flip my hair from left to right.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that.
long hair problems.
I flip my hair left to right, and then the cameraman goes, "Hey, we need you to do that again." He had an earpiece on, but he goes, "Just wait a second." He starts fiddling with the camera. And what he was doing, I realized after the fact when you told me, he was switching on high speed recording.
So that it could
And then he had me flip it again. And I said, "Do you need me to flip it again?" He goes, "Nope, we're good." And he starts fiddling the controls back to standard speed. So yeah, I think that's what you guys were watching when they did that.
We watched it. I mean, it
It
was.
was so good.
I
It
think
was so
like
good.
I think if your career in technology doesn't pan out, you could probably do shampoo commercials. Just saying.
Shampoo commercial.
Oh, I don't want to talk about the shampoo side of this whole Lego Masters production.
Oh my word!
Yeah, that's not fit for this at this time. But you guys can hear the story after the fact. Yeah.
So we've done 2 Q&A panels today. We're going to do 2 more tomorrow. And
Nice.
so they told them in the beginning, you can't ask anything about spoilers or anything like that, And so we were all ready to make sure that we don't answer any spoiler questions. I wasn't ready for embarrassing questions. And so this was really, really funny. So this kid, he asks, so besides your team, who's your favorite other builder? Who's your favorite other team, right? And so they asked Mark this first. And so I put my elbows on the table. I was like, yeah, Mark. team, right? And so it was just so we had so much fun with the crowd.
What did he say?
So his favorite team was your van buddies.
These guys? Oh yeah, Monoforest. Yeah. Ooh, that's a hard
So
question.
this is now the second time Van Buddies have
I
come up in
believe that one, but
conversation.
they pinned us in a corner.
No, it was
those
fun.
beasties.
Oh,
No,
one.
we all answered. All 24 of us are really good friends. But if I wanted to build with somebody, or or who did I have the most fun with, or whatever. But Mark answered it really well. These are the guys that I spent the most time with, so we're really close.
That's
with
a
them.
good way.
So it was a really good answer.
So the Van Buddies have come up twice now. So real quick, when we were traveling from hotel to set, they had two
Explain
teams.
that.
They had 2 teams in a van going to set, and so typically it was supposed to be the same exact team until one of the teams was eliminated, if that happened. Well, I think our Van Buddies changed like 4 4 times in
Yeah.
the first like 5
You're the curse. You're the reason we're going home.
so we didn't get the experience of having like these super close tight
Band
band buddies.
buddies.
I will say though that we actually had, because in the green room they had us as well too. They had everybody kind of sit in the same area, and then as certain teams would go home, they would shrink everything down and like kind of move us in. And we were by Randall and Serena
We were
the entire time. So
Yes.
Randall and I discovered that we have a
lot
lot
in
in common when it comes to like growing up in the 80s and 90s. So
Yeah, we did not have long-term band buddies, but
Yeah,
we
we had
did
long-term
have a long-term
couch buddies.
couch
Couch
buddies.
Couch buddies. There you go.
Can I say like this? I don't want to dampen the mood because I have a funny story after this. But right after Jack and Don left, we were given your spot, and I'm like, I feel terrible. Like, why am I sitting? I shouldn't be here. It was terrible, but it was so much more comfortable.
Cheers.
yeah, they
No, we didn't have a couch.
Maybe not
Yeah,
couches.
that's right.
I don't know. Maybe they thought we were going to kick
You
out of the
were,
first
you were crammed
episode.
back there in that corner, weren't you?
Yeah, we were behind you guys. That was
Yeah.
fun.
They were next to
Yeah,
us.
we were so hard. But I had a funny story about the panels really quick. Not to leave a sad mood. But here's the thing. While we were doing those, like one kid asked Zach and Wayne a question about the whale or something like that. And then right when Wayne was done, I'm sorry, he asked Wayne. Right when Wayne was finished answering the question, the kid's like, "The whale should have won." I'm right here. It out.
And you were like, thanks.
Like,
You're out of here.
Phil's like, the whale should have won. And Mark's like,
Steven.
Yes, these guys.
All the time.
I always mess it up.
It always happens.
I just see, like,
I don't have the
Steven, like nodding at the security guy in the back of the room, and then like pick up the kid and drag him out.
You're like,
Yeah, hey Ben, that guy. Get him out of here.
It's been a lot of fun. It has been a lot of fun. We've had some really good questions.
yeah, we got
It's just been great.
two last questions, and we've been asking. The last one I got asked, I didn't know how to answer it, but Jesse, I think on the whole, yeah. There's been some people have definitely been quarantine building because some of the stuff I've seen is ridiculous.
Massive.
Colossal.
Yeah.
Philip
Yeah.
is so much bigger than what like you guys would see. I mean, it's crazy. Like one kid's making Star Killer Base, you think he was making the whole thing.
Yeah, we were telling him about that, right?
It's
like
giant.
they're out there building it right now. It's
Maybe I don't know,
insane.
a dozen mods
Yeah,
take
that's
up
what-
like 10 by something.
Yeah, that's what Rich Boy
Wow.
J's known for. Is like
I know,
blowing it over the top, and this is insane.
But there's at least a dozen others that are getting that size.
no,
too.
I know that's what's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
insane. I'm surprised.
So I went out this morning before it opened to the public, and I've been walking through it all day,
Yeah, me
yesterday and the day
too.
before, and I made little trophies,
Mm-hmm.
and Brickworm helped me create it. So thank you, Brickworm.
Well, let's talk about that because you've been doing it. I did it.
Yeah.
You've done
I
it.
did it 1 year a while ago.
Yeah.
I did trophies.
So
Yeah.
I walked around and placed these little trophies that have a little butterfly on them. They got a little butterfly.
Oh.
And it says, "This makes my heart soar." And I've signed the little
Aw.
thing. So I placed that on ones that really made me, as I walked by, it made me stop in my tracks.
Catch your eye, yeah.
Yes, it's something, and that's what it needs to do. If it stops you in the tracks, then you're going to really need to, and there's some,
Exactly.
I mean, and then later I had one of the people that I put the little, I guess you call it a trophy, put that down there, and he came up to me and he says, "This is my first con. It's his first convention."
Oh.
And he said how much it meant to him that he was recognized in that way.
Oh, I
You know,
love
it's
that.
like, yay!
And I
So
saw some LMs floating around, so I know
Yes,
you've been
yes.
dropping.
I've been putting them down,
nice,
yeah.
Nice.
And I've been doing LMs. I've also been doing little white and gold land speeders.
I
So
saw
depending-
those.
Yes.
Okay,
LM.
so
You know,
now
land speeder.
I got a gold land speeder, and I'm like, someone has been dropping a trophy here, but I don't know who it is.
I love that.
And now it's come full circle. Thank you so much.
The mystery is open.
Yeah, I also got an Ellis Dragon, but that was an award from a 5-year-old. That was epic.
Oh,
White
she was
is
awesome, yeah.
5 or
astounding.
7,
good.
yeah.
yeah.
It's really good.
Rainbow,
man.
I just love it.
Yeah, and
I
then
love the roof.
for me, because I so what's crazy is I had some time to build stuff, and what I did is I replicated a mock for auction. So we're going to see how that performs. So I didn't have time to build anything, but what I did is I brought my letterhead. So I've been writing personalized notes to the same thing, and I slipped the sheets under the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then one guy's like, "Were you talking to me yesterday? You love my thing so much I didn't get a note." And I know him from social media.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I wrote this glowing note at the bottom for parentheses. I wrote this under duress. And I
Was that Julian? Was that Julian?
No, I wasn't Julian. I hid the under duress part, so when he came over, he saw this like beautiful note and pulled it out, and it's like
Savage. So savage.
I'm a savage. That's right. I'm a
So
savage.
okay, you should know. So these cards, right? So I've been signing my name. All of us have been signing our name. Moto will write their name on it and write a letter to them on his card. Moto,
Wow.
like,
How do you fit that on there? That's amazing.
people, they're loving it. It's amazing.
That's
Moto's
cool.
awesome.
About those
I've been
cards.
hearing that I've got like big energy. I don't know what that means.
Big energy.
Big energy or something.
You really do, man. Like, Ken, did I say that much?
So
I
someone
didn't say that to you.
said online, you have to bottle Moto's energy, and then this Harry, of course, comes in and he calls it a Mototov cocktail.
Molotov.
That's perfect.
So this is the one I could not answer. Do you have a favorite Moxie at rodeo?
Oh, there's so
'Cause
many.
it's
There are.
crazy.
I put out 10 of those. I put out 10.
Yeah, you put out 10. I must have
Right.
written 12 notes.
And
We're
I
gonna start voting tonight.
Oh, that's
my
right.
gosh,
We have
this
to
is
start
like-
voting.
Yes.
Yeah, tonight after. So they're gonna tell us how
Yeah, the
we're gonna
public
get-
wasn't able to vote this time.
They have
Yeah,
computer
they had a
issues.
glitch. They had a glitch in their system.
Oh, that QR stuff didn't work?
It didn't work. So only the private voting,
So all of us are Brickman.
pretty much.
Yeah, we've got the weighted brick that's worth 500 votes.
Exactly.
No applies like everybody else.
I don't know if I could pick a favorite right now. There's
I
so many
have to go back
amazing.
in there.
Yeah, I know. There's favorites in different themes,
Yeah.
but I can't say.
I was playing that game, but ultimately I like your Serpent. I was just
Yeah,
like, okay.
there's-
Really?
Their Serpent is amazing.
Yeah.
Serpent
Oh
took
god,
it.
it's gorgeous.
I like Zach's tanks.
Have you
Those
seen
are
a
really
picture
good.
of his serpent yet, you guys?
And
The
a lot of
water,
people.
They're all over Facebook
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Video
gonna
I think Mark posted as well on
Okay,
Instagram.
and for the chat, the Hanlons were here.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're not subscribed to Beyond the Brick, they are back. They're shooting video, and you're going to see
Oh, yeah.
some amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them
They're
again.
back.
Excited about new
Yeah, we
content.
saw them all today.
And then they left, and they're going to finish up their time on the weekend in Nebraska Brick Days, and then they're going to be at Brick Fair, Virginia. So those
Mhm.
boys are busy, but they're definitely capturing and interviewing folks, and they're back. And you're going to see all this amazing stuff on Beyond the Brick.
Oh yeah.
So that's, I mean, come
Yeah.
on, that doesn't say like seasons back in like that.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
Woo!
I'm
Yep.
so looking forward to starting to go back again to conferences. And, one of the nice things is that now we've got this huge family to see every time we go to these conferences.
Which
so,
we already had.
we already have.
We already
like,
had a big
so
family to see, but now
it's
it's like
like-
even
It's
bigger.
going to be even crazier, so, which is fantastic. And I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward. Hey, so Mark and Steven, are you guys coming to Brick World Chicago?
Yes.
So that is likely.
Yeah, next
I
year.
can't confirm anything, but that is likely because by that point my time off will have reset, and I will have more leeway to come and go as I please. So that is likely. We will be at Brick World.
You see,
Are
those-
you building a collaborative?
Ask you publicly. So
Exactly.
You
so now I have like 1,000 people are gonna be like, "Hey, where are you?" Yeah, don't worry. I'll
We're
make
on you,
sure.
Phil.
Yeah, very likely we'll be up there. What we'll bring, I don't know. But we plan on taking down the World Serpent after Brick Fair, so that's your last chance to see it, everybody. So that'll be pretty cool.
No.
We have to. Do you know how expensive those 1x2s are? Those bricks and the clay. Do you buy more or do you recycle? I mean,
Mine's gonna come down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that.
I haven't posted pictures of
Still
what I
breaks
did
my
yet.
heart.
I'm sure
We get a lot of pictures.
it's
trust
floating
me.
around. I don't know if it's on Insta or
It
wherever.
still
but
breaks my
apparently
heart. I would
Rebel-
hope
or
that you would
Texas
sell it
Log
and then
has-
take the revenue
it's
for it back.
it's exploded in their
$30,000.
Discord. I've been
Maybe
told, but I haven't
$1,000.
seen it.
You never
But
know. Just
I
try.
made
I
the
don't know.
Alamo,
Maybe not.
but it's actually called the Alamode.
It's awesome.
Got ice
She put
cream.
ice cream all over the place in the Alamo.
So
Tell them about the spoons.
Oh yeah, so the weapon of choice is spoons.
So all the minifigures are
All
holding
the troops have
spoons.
spoons. It's brilliant.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, I giggled every time I was putting something together.
Everyone I talk to loves it. I think it's the most like charming, heartfelt, wonderful thing that they've
I
seen.
have never been to Austin or San Antonio. I'm sorry.
We still haven't been.
I guess I haven't been either one of those. I haven't been either of those, but
Were you used to?
no, we're the Alamo.
Oh, the Alamo.
We're the, I have not been to the Alamo. We'll just say it that way.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to do research to figure out what I was doing, and then I had to research uniforms for the Mexican army, and then they're called Texians that fought the Mexican army. So I learned something while I'm making Lego.
See, Lego is good for you.
That's right.
Did you rewatch?
Super educational.
No, I've
To make sure
never
you
watched it once.
Yeah,
How can
obviously there.
I rewatch it if I've never watched Pee Wee Herman? Sorry.
I like the movie with John Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're having a lot of fun.
What I liked about your belt is the minute you told me what it was, I realized that it was almost like it was perfect fit for Lego Masters, right? You take something, you can't be violent about it, but you can be incredibly fun about it. You just twisted it perfectly.
Thank you.
And that's what I love.
No
about
weapons.
It. No weapons.
Well, and Santa Ana had 2 spoons, where everybody else only had 1.
Oh, that's great.
So, it was fun, and I'm going to make sure I get lots of pictures, and I have it lit up right now downstairs. So we're
Which
turning lights
is going on
down.
right now. They got to turn lights out. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we are winding down. We're getting.
Yeah, they got to turn the lights off.
Yeah, it's already off.
Yeah.
And by the way, the
sun is going down.
The sun is gone.
Yeah,
So we're taking
we're turning to the. If you can't tell, we're turning to the dark side.
Yeah, we're all getting shadows and stuff. So we have to, unfortunately, due to lighting issues and concerns,
You're
and
very
to
peacefully.
our poor neighbors, probably.
Right,
are at
listening
their
to all
limit.
our cackling.
Yeah. We are the
It's
champions.
so early there. It's only like what, 7:30?
No,
It's
it's off
8:30.
by an hour because we're further
It's
We're on
back.
Central, so it's
We're Central
8:23. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 8:30.
Okay.
This part of Texas. Apparently, the other side of Texas is
Eastern.
is
Oh,
no is
It's a
mountain.
big state.
It's a big
Oh,
state.
so
Yeah,
here's,
they have
They got.
here's a gift I got. Somebody bought me Wonder Woman
Aw.
and brought it over to my table.
Oh, nice.
And so I put it on my badge
What?
next to me and Susan.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty
So
cool.
Hey, speaking of badges, if you
Oh
are
my
in Fair
goodness.
Virginia, we do have bricks that we've got.
What's it say? Midwest.
Midwest.
Builders.
Yes.
I want one. I want one of those. I want one.
So everybody that from the cast will get one
guess I need
at Fair Virginia, but then the rest of them are going to go out to builds that Maria and I, because I'm going to I'm going to
Do you
FaceTime
have
her
enough
in.
to give them to all the cast?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh.
And so we're going to hand them out. So there will be a few of them. I think I've got 30 of them. So after cast, there's probably going to be like maybe, I don't know how many, 20 left, maybe 15 left. So yeah.
Well, if you're watching this, try to get to Brick Fair, Virginia, because this party's just going to keep
It's
rolling
limited,
into
yes.
next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are having a great time, and I'm so glad that conventions are back. And please
Yeah, they really are.
photos to social after the fact. I want to see everything you guys built yourselves and brought, and I want to see what you guys thought were your favorites as well. So
Is
keep us
Okay.
is anyone going to Slopes?
Not me.
Susan, Susan,
Not me.
Moto.
Susan, Moto.
Photo.
My boss is already mad at me enough for all this. So yeah, I don't know if any of my coworkers are watching, but sorry guys, I'm having a great time, but sorry you're probably not. So I'll see
I
you guys.
know. We have something going on that weekend, but Phil's trying to convince me to cancel that and to go to Slopes.
Oh, look.
Well, we're getting some season 1 people there too.
So
that's
Martin,
gonna be great.
we all miss you.
Martin!
We're so
Well,
sorry you couldn't make it.
oh,
We miss you,
yeah,
man.
we wish you could come.
You were missed.
Yes.
Martin, are you going to BFBA next week?
I believe he is.
I think I
What's
remember him saying
I
that.
believe that Martin's going to Big Fair, Virginia next week.
Oh,
So-
good. I can't wait to see
I'm
you
a,
guys.
I'm a little jelly.
I think
It's me,
so.
Martin.
At least he promised a beer,
Martin is
and I think I
like-
promised a beer in reverse. So there's gonna be lots of beer.
Are you going to bring him some Michigan beer?
I can't because I'm flying down.
Oh.
So I
You
have.
can get some in the airport.
I don't have that much space though. Like as it is, I have a carry-on and a personal
He's
item.
going to be there.
Yeah, there you go.
Save it for the
I'll be
break.
there. Yes, I'll see Martin again.
I'll
Can't
be
wait to
there.
see you,
There
man.
go. I'll be there. I'll show it for everybody who's watching the recording.
Yeah, just in case. Bingo. Everything right.
Bam.
I'll bring beer good. Yeah, yes. He says in chat. That's awesome.
Can't wait to see you, man.
So it's all good. We're going to sign off here, and we'll pick it up next week. I will host from my home, and
We'll see
I
you there.
believe the internet will be less stable than this dang hotel room. Because I'll be at home.
Are you
I don't
going
know how that
to
works.
present your potato at home?
I know I'm going to have to refresh the gerbil.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
Yep.
Eat some lettuce.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe some Gatorade and some granola bars.
Yes.
The food is like that, Jay.
I tried that on the router. It didn't work. It made funny smokes.
Yeah, make funny noises.
Funny noises.
Gatorade energy.
All good. So
Be energy.
goodbye, everybody. Wave.
Good
You can get the
night.
cell phones
Good
going if
night,
you
Good night,
want.
you guys.
Good night.
Thank you all for watching.
Bye.
Woo, and